Okay, so this video is going to be about positioning your offer to actually be more enticing than your competitors' offers by better serving and understanding your customers. Because at the end of the day, the person who knows their customer the best will be able to hold a higher LTV against them because data is what matters. So, this is the B2B market research playbook that will outposition competitors in any niche. Most B2B offers fail not because the product sucks, but because the founder guessed instead of researched. The B2B market research playbook. In this video, I'm handing you the exact playbook I use to help businesses outposition their competitors without needing a big ad budget. You'll walk away with a step-by-step research system to find exactly what your competitors missed so you never launch a dead offer again. If you want to, there's a link below where you can grab the full SOP and copy everything I cover here. So interview your ideal buyers the right way. That's what you're starting off with. You're going to be talking to 3 to 5 real people who've either bought from you, from a competitor, or are actively looking for a solution. Don't pitch, listen. Ask these 7 questions and record everything. Number one, what was going on in your business before you started looking for a solution? You want to get a good idea of what the exact situation was like. You want to be able to find nuggets that led to them looking for a solution that they might not even be realizing so that you could use that to better help them. Number two, what triggered you to start looking? That's basically similar to number one, but it's going to be more so, it's more so psychological and emotional. It's not really, um, this happened and that happened. It's more so, this is how the circumstance made me feel and made me want to look for some type of solution. So it's going to be more so pain based than pleasure based 9 times out of 10 because um, people don't just start looking for solutions when they're comfortable. They usually start looking for solutions when they're in pain. Number three, what alternatives did you consider? This is really important because if you don't know what alternatives there are, you probably will be overlooking competitors who are slowly on the rise and you won't be able to study them and use what they're using to help their customers um, in your business. So you always want to be looking at people who are not only just like the top dogs in your industry, but you want to be looking at the smaller people who are just now coming up, so that you see if they're catching a trend sooner to help your customers in a better way. That you're right there with them and you have more credibility because you've been in the game longer. Number four, what were your biggest concerns about choosing the wrong offer? That's gonna be uh that's gonna be basically the negative gut feeling that they have initially uh when they started working with the guy that they came to before you. So they're it's basically like a whole bunch of red flags that they ignored, and you want to find out what those red flags are so you position yourself as a person who doesn't have any of those flags when you're about to go to pitch them. So you don't want to be able to uh, come at them the same way that the person who came at them um, did, because now they know that that other person is not going to be able to help them. So if they feel the same way with you, they're going to kind of shut you down and not even give you the same chance that they gave the other person. So as each owner or each client gets burned by a competitor, their guard is raised a little bit more, preventing them from wanting to trust so easily. So it's basically a form of market sophistication. Buyers get more sophisticated and more in tune with what's going on, and now they know, or they think they know more about what's going to work for them and what isn't. So you want to be able to watch out for that. What made you say yes to the one you picked? So uh, that's also the flip side of the experience that your clients had with your competitor. It's like what enticed them in the beginning, and it's usually going to be some type of major promise or transformation. And from there, you want to be able to see how do you interweave that with what you have to offer. Or if you already have an offer that's way better, or uh or if you have an offer with a promise that's way better than the uh what the competitor has, you won't even have to worry about like looking at what they were promising, because you could just be like, oh yeah, he was promising you 10,000 dollars as their ROI in 6 months. I could get you $10,000 in 3 months, and it's completely hands off instead of done with you like our competitor. Something rough like that. But you want to be able to figure out like what they were offering, because if your competitors were offering something better than you want to be able to pick up on that and see how you could use that in an argument for why this customer or this client should be able to buy from you instead of them, and why this time will be different. So either way, you need to have an argument for whether or not the customer should buy from you, even if your offer isn't as good as their competitors, or if it is, because um, either way, there's a reason for everything, and if you're able to create that reason, you'll be able to justify why someone should come and buy from you than someone else. But also, if you're just doing market research in the beginning, you don't even have to worry too much about selling. You just have to focus on creating the best offer possible. But this is a hybrid for people who have their offer and people who are just starting out and don't have their offer. So there's like bits and pieces that both parties could use in this whole document. Now, what made you say yes to the one you picked? What would have made you buy sooner? That is also important, because uh you don't want to be over here worrying about, oh, um I just need to give them time. You want them to be already pre-framed and pre-qualified, and they want to you want to be over here just giving them all the information they need to make a buying decision as soon as possible. You don't want to sit over here waiting um, on your hands thinking you did everything you could, because in reality, you could always do more. You could always educate them further. You could always be there for them more than their competitors, which will also develop goodwill and increase their LTV on the back end, because relational capital is really important and doesn't get discussed enough about in the B2B space. And then number seven, what almost stopped you from buying entirely? Because if you're able to avoid that giant pitfall with uh with with like the major mistakes that, or the major giveaways that their competitors came in with, you are basically um how do I put this? You're basically gonna position yourself as like 10 times better than your competitors when you just avoid that simple mistake that they did. So it's not really just about like looking for like the pleasure route and like how to like make yourself look better. It's just how to make yourself look not as much of an incompetent option compared to the people that your client was working with before. So um if you can make yourself just look like competent at what you do, and like the other client was basically like completely clueless and they just threw paint at the wall and hope it stuck, and you just come in here with like basic information, you're going to look like a super genius compared to the guy who had absolutely no clue what was going on. So you want to be able to apply that in different circumstances, right? Maybe your competitor was like minimally viably competent, but you know a bit more than they do. And because that minimally viably competent competitor didn't have something in place that almost made the client not want to buy from them, you could just like address that in the beginning so that they already want to stick around much longer, because you're not messing up as much as that previous competitor already did. So that's also something to look into. You don't want to guess what they want, you want to have them tell you. So here's what you'll gain: the actual buying triggers they care about, words and phrases to use in your copy, key objections you need to squash in your messaging, and real world examples. So, when I first did this for a client, we discovered their buyers weren't excited about saving time. They were terrified of losing deals to competitors. That one insight led to a total repositioning and a 2x lift in booked calls. That's basically how you'd present it over a Zoom call or in person, depending on the circumstance. And it can serve you real well. You could just kind of like plug and play this and use it for your business no matter what industry you're in. Now, you want to move on to spying on your competitors' messaging funnel. So, next, go look at how your direct competitors are positioning themselves. This will show you how to either differentiate, fill a gap, or out-message them. Analyze competitor websites. Visit 3 to 5 competitor websites, screenshot their homepage, service page, lead magnet, and email opt-in page. You're basically funnel hacking at this point. Research their tech stack. Use builtwith.com to see what tech they are using. Sign up for their email list. Track what they say in emails 1 through 5. And basically these are going to be more so of like the nurturing emails to like try to convert you into a buyer. So you want to see like what pain points, desires they're using to get you more invested and to want to book a call. Um, After that, you want to monitor their advertising. Record every ad they're running using Meta Ad Library or Ad Spy. Both can work very well for you. A Meta Ad Library, you can basically just search up the person's name, and like all their ads will just pop up, and you'll be able to see like what triggers they're using, what pains, desires, how they're presenting their offer, what the call out is in the beginning, um, what their call to action is towards the end, how they're keeping people hooked throughout the ad. So there's a lot to be analyzed in that situation. So what you're looking for are their claims, angles, whether they focus on ROI, time saving, avoiding risk, and what's missing that your product can do better. By the end of this step, you'll have a positioning gap you can own, a list of overused claims to avoid, and ideas for how to differentiate clearly in your copy. For example, if all your competitors are promising scale your agency to 100K a month and no one cares, or no one's addressing lead quality, you can go ahead and use that as your edge to then differentiate yourself and differentiate your whole offer. So next we want to move on to build a language swipe file from the market. Here's the most overlooked move. Steal the market's exact words, don't write your own. Create your own swipe file. Now, if you're a copywriter, you probably have a swipe file of a bunch of long form sales letters that you just look through to kind of pick up on language patterns, pick up on certain persuasion triggers, pick up on how they're putting the reader to shame or dangling the carrot over the reader's head. You kind of want to do the same thing. Um, when it comes to like creating a swipe file for pain points, desires, and killer quotes. So you're going to use a Google Doc to create those 3 separate columns, and obviously you'll label one for their pain points, one for their desired outcomes, and one for the like killer quotes. You want to source real customer language, then go to Reddit, search your niche plus the frustration. You can go to Amazon book reviews, testimonials from competitors, and YouTube comments on popular videos in your niche. You can copy and paste anything that sounds raw and emotional. These are real thoughts, not sanitized marketing language. And that's really important too, because if you don't have an unfiltered, uh, I guess, library of thoughts and ideas for how your customers and your clients and your competitors are really thinking, you're not going to have the data you need to create an edge to create an offer that actually out positions them and basically hits them from left field. So, words for headlines and ads. By the end of this step, you'll have words to use in headlines, ads, and hooks better than AI or a copywriter could invent. Emotional insight. You'll gain emotional insight you can't get from logic alone. I once pulled the phrase, "I'm drowning in spreadsheets and still blind," from a Reddit thread and used that in an ad that got a 7x CTR compared to the original. Reverse engineer what people are already buying. Go to the data. What are the people already buying with real money? Search popular platforms. Search your niche course or your niche software on YouTube, TikTok, and Udemy. And you could obviously go to um, obviously go to Chat, Claude. Basically, a lot of AI language models can also be like very important when it comes to searching popular platforms. After that, you want to go ahead and analyze reviews, look for offers with lots of positive reviews, read their testimonials, and then after that, check traffic data. Plug the offer URL into SimilarWeb or Ubersuggest to see traffic. Your goal is to understand what people already believe works so you can align with that instead of fighting it. By the end of this step, you'll have a validated map of what's converting in the real world, clues on what not to challenge in your offer, and a possible bonus offer idea or pivot you hadn't thought of. If everyone's paying for lead gen templates, but nobody's offering a done with you service to implement them, you might have just uncovered a wide open lane. Now, conclusion, your market research advantage. Here's the recap. Interview real buyers with the correct 7 questions. Discover what actual buyer buying triggers and objections are directly from your ideal customers. Reverse engineer your competitors' funnels, find positioning gaps and differentiation opportunities. Number 3, swipe raw market language from real sources. Use authentic customer language that resonates more than polished marketing copy. And number 4, track what offers are getting traction today. Align with existing marketing beliefs instead of fighting against them. If you do these steps, you'll have more than enough research. You'll have market insight your competitors have completely missed. And that's going to be your edge that you use to basically not only come into your industry and dominate, but you're also going to be creating a higher LTV on the back end just because you have enough data to create upsells after upsells after upsells that keep on giving to your customers that make them feel almost indebted to you. To get the complete B2B market research playbook, and if you want this whole playbook in a step-by-step document you can use immediately, click the link below and grab it now. No guesswork, just clear systems that position your offer where no one else is looking. Here's what you'll get. Complete step-by-step research SOP, all 7 buyer interview questions, competitor analysis templates, language swipe file structure, uh, the result. Position your B2B offer where competitors aren't looking, launch with confidence instead of guesswork, and create messaging that resonates with real buyers' needs. All right, I'm out.